in New York City, and I was about to get my degree. And it was a period in my artistic career during which I really liked experimenting with acrylics, and the circle, as I would call it, is seems to be the focal point of the work.
Right.
And I always try to bring a sense of tension and movement,
right,
in my work. So I thought of of a name for this work, and I really thought of one of my favorite movies, Lord of the Rings, and there was a scene in one of the movies, I believe it's the first one, the Fellowship of the Ring, where there is a really beautiful shot of a settlement under the ground. So I've thought of utilizing earth tones along with those bright blue ones,
yes,
to accentuate as if you are looking from a bottom, looking up and seeing the sky
I see.
Above you, and again retaining the biomorphic atmosphere. My work, the fluidity of it, is what I was trying to achieve.
Yes, and you did achieve that, from what I could see anyway. What is biomorphic? Can you tell our viewers exactly what that means to you?
Biomorphic is a term which I
created yourself?
No, actually, it is an existing term.
Oh.
It implies, if I could define it, sort of a organic manner. So it tends to imply fluidity.
All right.
And instead of straight lines, you would imply
yes,
more, bodily forms and so forth.
And you can see and vision in these pieces, if you look at them, you might see different, you might envision that you see a face or an eye or a hand, right, or something else within it, and then you can keep looking and looking at it. And let's go to this one now. What is this one, Lubo? Again, with that same acrylics. This is acrylic.
That is acrylic.
And again, the same fluidity. You've got the earth tones. You've got more blue in this now. This looks like something from the sea, that it might be, from, it almost looks like a jellyfish or something to me, in my mind.
It's really interesting that you pointed this out, because everybody who witnesses this work describes it as if it is some sort of a creature from the sea.
Yeah.
And again, having been influenced by astronomy, I was very fascinated with the recent discoveries of different environments, planetary environments. And I call this work Beneath the Surface of Europa. In Europa, it's one of the moons of Jupiter, where they believe that ocean life way down below the icy surface might in fact exist. So in my mind, that is sort of a primitive life form that might lurk beneath those dark, deep waters.
Well, that's what a wonderful background to this painting. Where did you come up with the idea about Europa? I mean, were you just sitting around the house thinking, I'm going to make a painting today, or I'm going to design in my mind? Because look at it, how do you even get to those ways of the colors and putting them in like that, and just letting it float like that?
Well, most of the time,
see it in your head?
Yes, most of the time I begin working without a preconceived ideas to where my brushstroke will take me.
Okay.
I really do not plan, for the most part, the direction in which I like to go once I begin working on a painting.
Okay.
So I really, many times I would just begin with a
color
simple,
in the background, maybe?
With a
like
color
a blue,
in the background.
like that blue, you might start out with that because you're thinking, again, along the same lines, natural, organic, fluid, something's going to come to your mind.
Right.
It might be out in the universe.
Exactly.
Oh,
I believe that there is beauty in every type of shape, color. So to me, letting my hand dictate where it would like to go is more important than the final product.
Following some thought. All right, let's take a look over here. What do we have here now?
This is a painting from a series that I called Otherworldly.
Otherworldly?
Yes.
Oh,
and
all right.
It is a painting which is to evoke a fragmentary vision of a distant planet. And in many respects, I tend to see my paintings as a whole as fragmentary visions of distant, imaginary, yet possibly existing worlds that still haven't been discovered.
And is this texture the same as the others here? The same type of thing?
Yes, the texture and the way it was applied to the canvas is the same. Although with this particular work, I did have a sort of an idea, or rather a direction which I wanted to take. If you look at that particular painting, you will see, as a matter of fact, in all those 4 works that I have brought in today, you will see a drastic contrast between light and darkness.
Yes.
I always like to evoke a sense of mystery, mysticism, a danger, or simply mystery. And
mystical, mystery. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and I believe, as it is in many cases, not just with painting, sometimes the less you reveal, the more evident something becomes.
Right.
By letting your imagination really go wild, and I really do not want artists to
just look at it and figure it out immediately. You want someone to gaze into it. And that's what all of your paintings, to me, reveal. Now let's look at this one.
Again, speaking of the biomorphic nature of my work, you will see a lot of fluidity in this work. It is a little more centered than some of the ones that we have seen today. And you will see a little bit more of a sort of a sci-fi video game type of feel to it.
Yeah.
And again, the colors
are like flaming, sort of. You know, they're just drawing you in. You almost think that it's a vision in fire or something.
Yes, and really your eyes do not rest at one particular place. You see movement all around the painting, even in the center of the painting, where the object, or the subject rather, seems to be more stationary in many respects.
It does.
It does exhibit a sense of movement by having all of this mass surrounded.
That's what I feel,
and animating it.
And is this part of that same one, or is this another one?
No, this is actually...
And so while we're looking at this, I'd like to ask you a little bit about, while we're talking about this, where have you shown your work? Let's get some of that out, too. As we're talking about this one, go ahead, describe this briefly, and we'll talk about
aside from, while I was going to college, aside from having participated in student exhibits, I have also, once I moved to Florida, I became a member of the Art Association, the St. Augustine Art Association.
Oh, wonderful.
Where I've subsequently won a Best of Show award with actually, not with a painting, but with a sculpture.
Oh my goodness, and what was the sculpture of, if we could briefly describe that?
Well, it wasn't a traditional sculpture in the sense that it was not a sculpture which was made out of stone, wood, any type of material of that nature. It was a type of sculpture that was assembled by ordinary objects that you find in everyday surroundings, and by modifying, by basically flipping their purpose or subject upside down and utilizing them in a way where the meaning becomes an artistic expression.
Artistic expression.
Very much just such as Duchamp, Marcel Duchamp did.
So would you take like a dish or a fork, a knife, some like a little matchbox? I just take pieces and assemble them and create a new artistic...
Yes, that is correct. I would spend numerous hours at Home Depot actually trying to find unusual objects.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear this.
Trying to find things that I don't even know what they are, so that I could utilize them in my work.
Now while we're also going to talk a little bit about your activism. How are you using your art, your creative style, everything that you've discussed, to be an activist in the community? And we're looking at a piece now, but we're going to talk about your activism because we
most importantly, art motivates me. Art excites me. It makes me become who I really wanted to be.
So.
And through art, I find a passion to pursue other causes.
Would you like to have? How would you like to see yourself in the future? With your artistic talent, what would you like to be doing? Oh, and we only have a minute left, but Lubo would like to do what in your life? Open a what?
I would like to one day be a gallery owner, and where I would have fellow artists exhibit their work. And
what would you do with that exhibit?
I would like to have the profits from any work that gets sold to benefit the causes of animal welfare, animal rights advocacy.
Well, you know, Lubo, this is so exciting. You'll have to come back. Lubo Timnev, artist and activist in the local community. We could just close with maybe one of his pieces. We thank him for coming. You can contact him here at Comcast. We always can find him. He'll come back again and review a little bit more about his work. And we also can find out more about the activism that you're involved in, how you would use your artistic talent to help save animals. And we want to thank you very much, Lubo, again.
My pleasure. Thanks
Lubo
for having me.
And thank you again, everyone, for tuning into These Days, and we hope to see you again soon. Take care and good night.